All right, picture this for a second. You walk into your living room and there it is, fresh, deep scratch marks completely shredding the side of your favorite sofa. And right there, just sitting in a sunbeam looking perfectly calm, is your cat. You point a finger, you use your most authoritative voice, and you firmly say, no. And what happens? Absolutely nothing. You get a blank stare, and then they go right back to scratching. Today in this explainer, we are going to completely decode what is actually happening inside your cat's brain in that exact moment, and exactly how you can stop it.
It's literally the ultimate question every single cat owner asks, right? Why on earth do they just ignore you? You deliver this firm command, you clearly mean business, and you're met with this absolutely blank, unbothered stare. I mean, it is so easy to just assume that your cat is being stubborn or defiant or purposely trying to ruin your day. But here is the first major twist of this whole thing. Your cat isn't ignoring you to be malicious. They really aren't plotting against you. The fundamental truth here, and honestly, very few cat owners are ever actually taught this, is that they simply do not understand your words. I mean it. Your English, your disappointed tone, your complex little lectures, it all means absolutely nothing to them.
And that brings us to the core of the problem. It feels like the two of you just aren't understanding each other. And, that's a profound emotional disconnect. You are speaking human, right? And they are speaking feline. So you're sitting there feeling like this failed pet parent, while they feel like they're just living their normal life, totally oblivious. Bridging this specific communication gap, it isn't just some neat little party trick. It is the absolute key to completely transforming their behavior. Once you actually learn how to cross this bridge and say no in a language your cat actually comprehends, literally everything in your home starts to change.
So we have to completely dismantle everything we assume about our pets. Let's look at the human side first. We rely heavily on morality, right? Right versus wrong. When a cat jumps up on your nice, clean kitchen table, we instantly think they're being disobedient. When they shred that armrest, we think, wow, you're being destructive. But here's the thing. In a cat's world, morality literally does not exist. There is zero concept of good or bad. A cat's brain just doesn't operate on human rules. Instead, they operate strictly on two things: instinct and outcome. They're just asking themselves, does this behavior fit my instincts? When your cat is scratching up your sofa, they aren't thinking about ruining your furniture. They are actually just marking their territory using these little scent glands in their paws. They're stretching out their muscles, they're maintaining their claws. For them, it is a purely instinctual, totally natural action. To build a new strategy, I really want you to lock this exact question into your brain. What is my cat trying to do for itself right now? Seriously, before you ever yell no again, I challenge you to pause for just 1 single second and ask yourself that. Are they trying to feel safe by getting up high on the table so they can scan the room? Are they scratching just to establish their space? Making this paradigm shift is a total game changer. It takes you directly out of that place of hot anger and puts you right into a place of empathetic observation. Just grasping this one simple question will completely change how you view their so-called misbehavior. And right here is where the behavioral science gets truly wild. You say no, but to your cat, that word is just noise. It has no emotional weight. But you know what does carry weight? A very specific chemical reaction: dopamine. Think about it. When your cat does something you hate, what do you usually do? You look right at them, you talk to them, you might even walk over and physically scoop them up to move them. Now to you, that's a correction. You're setting them straight. But to your cat's brain, oh man, that is premium, undivided attention. And that attention triggers a massive release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that feels incredibly rewarding to them. So, without even realizing it, your reaction is quietly teaching your cat a super simple equation. Hey, if I act out, I get noticed. Yeah, your scolding is literally rewarding the exact behavior you're trying to stop. So what do we do? Well, the crucial pivot here is actually pretty simple. Stop using words, start sending signals. If our human words don't work, and our usual reactions are basically just drugging our cats with happy hormones, obviously we need a totally new approach. We are officially transitioning away from our human vocabulary, and we're stepping directly into the natural physical language of felines. This is exactly where we start building a toolkit that your cat's brain is literally hardwired to respect. Okay, so let's get into it. Here is the exact 3-step formula for a successful intervention. Step 1, a low, firm tone. You absolutely do not need to shout. A low tone just creates this very clear, startling interruption in whatever they're doing. Step 2, direct eye contact. In the animal kingdom, locking eyes immediately focuses their attention and signals, hey, this interaction is serious. And finally, step 3, this is the secret weapon, a short hiss. Now look, I know, I know it sounds a little ridiculous to literally hiss at your own cat, but stick with me. In the wild, cats use this exact sound to set strict, non-negotiable boundaries. It is a universal warning signal. When you make a quick, sharp hiss, you instantly stop being this confusing, frustrating human, and you start speaking a language they've understood since the day they were born. You don't need to overdo it, you don't need to repeat it 10 times, just one sharp, clear signal.
But here's the catch. All of those signals we just talked about, they are completely 100% useless if you ignore one critical number: 3. I like to call this the 3-second rule. You see, in behavioral science, a cat's brain has this incredibly limited window to link an action to an outcome. They can really only connect what they're actively doing with your consequence if it happens within a tiny 2 to 3 second window. If you hiss right as those claws hit the fabric of the couch, boom, they make the connection perfectly. In this scenario, brilliantly illustrates exactly why missing that window is so dangerous. Let's say you discover a broken vase 10 minutes after it happens. Your cat simply cannot connect the two events. If you come home from a long day at work, find a mess on the rug, and start scolding your cat, I promise you they do not feel guilt. They are not sitting there thinking, oh man, I really shouldn't have broken that vase this morning. Literally all their brain processes in that moment is that their favorite human, out of absolutely nowhere, has just become unpredictable, aggressive, and downright scary. This is exactly how the foundation of trust between you and your pet starts to crack. So if you miss that 3-second window, the hard truth is, the absolute best choice is to just not react at all. Swallow the frustration, because the teaching moment has completely passed. Now, just saying no, even in cat language, is only half the story. You have to remember, cats cannot just do nothing. They have these deeply ingrained wild instincts just burning inside them. And this is where the redirection strategy comes into play. First, yes, you stop the behavior with your signal, the hiss. But immediately after that, you absolutely must offer an alternative. If you stop them from scratching your nice sofa, you have to give them a scratching post right then and there. You're essentially saying, hey, not here, but over there. Finally, you just gently guide them to that appropriate space, because you really cannot suppress an instinct. You just have to give all that wild energy a safe, approved place to go so they can still, just be a cat.
All right, now we are arriving at one of the most powerful concepts in this entire deep dive. I call it the silent teacher. We spent all this time talking about how you can correct behavior, right? But what if you didn't have to be the one doing the correcting at all? What if you could actually shift all that focus to the physical space around you and literally let your environment enforce the rules for you?
Think about the contrast here. When you are the primary enforcer, honestly, even if you execute it flawlessly, there is always the slight risk of building fear or tension. But when the environment is the enforcer, it completely protects your trust. Because cats don't just learn from you, they map out and learn from everything that happens around them. Let's say you put some double-sided sticky tape on the kitchen counter, or maybe some tin foil on the edge of the sofa. The moment they touch it, that surface feels super uncomfortable, and the cat naturally avoids it. But here is the absolute genius part of this. They associate that unpleasant, annoying experience with the counter itself, not with you. You get to remain the safe, loving, fun presence in their life, while the environment does the dirty work of setting the boundary. Plus, as a massive bonus, this means they're actually going to behave even when you are miles away at the office. And of course, when they do make the right choice, like actually using that scratching post instead of your favorite armchair, we heavily rely on positive reinforcement. This just means changing behavior by making the right choice lead to a really positive feeling. Remember how we talked about dopamine a few minutes ago? Well, now we want to use it to our advantage. Cats really do not learn well through fear. They learn best when a behavior makes them feel amazing. So if they use the post and within that magic 3-second window, you give them a tiny little treat or just a gentle stroke behind the ears, their brain logs that immediately. Boom, dopamine is released. You just made the good behavior incredibly appealing, and they are naturally going to want to do it again and again. Now, everything we've built up to today leads us to something much, much more serious. The fact that not all behavior is just behavior. This is a vital piece of the puzzle that gets missed far too often by owners. Sometimes what looks like this sudden, awful misbehavior. Maybe they're crying super loudly in the middle of the night, or they suddenly become aggressive when you try to pet them, or they completely stop using their litter box. That is often a desperate mask for hidden physical pain. So before you ever jump straight to correction, you really need to look at your cat, take a breath, and honestly ask yourself, is my cat actually okay? You have to remember, cats are absolute masters of the wild when it comes to hiding their discomfort. It's literally an evolutionary survival trait, so they don't look weak to larger predators. Because of that, bad behavior is very often the very first, incredibly subtle signal that they're sick or disoriented or actively hurting. In these vulnerable moments, trying to apply the 3-second rule or hissing at them would be a tragic mistake. Sometimes what they desperately need isn't a correction or a boundary at all. It's your profound understanding and probably an immediate trip to the vet. We started this whole explainer trying to figure out how to get your cat to finally understand the word no. But I think the real ultimate goal is actually this. How can I understand my cat well enough that I don't have to say no so often? Think about that. When you finally stop yelling, when you truly understand their wild instincts, and when you start using their natural signals, clever redirection, and the environment itself, you literally replace all that endless daily frustration with a deep, peaceful trust. You finally start speaking the exact same language. So as we wrap up today, I want you to take a look at your own pet and ask yourself, what is one wild instinct of theirs that you can accommodate a little bit better right now, so you can stop saying no